So everything is working. Okay. So we will be solving problems today. Yep. So we'll go from 800 level, from 800 to like 1,000 or 1,200, something like that. So we'll warm up using easier problems and then we'll see from there. So okay. So given an array of n elements, so we have to print any value that appears at least 3 times, or print -1 if there is no such value. So so we can use a multi-set for this one, like we can use another data type, something like that. So if we use a multi-set, we have to first keep the values in a set or in a vector, I guess. So we are going to create a vector with n size and we're going to take the inputs and then we're going to go through that vector and we're going to set okay, so we have to create our multi-set with integers and we call it S. Yes, a multi-set. So a multi-set is basically a set which can have one element in multiple instances, like one and two twos, something like that. So we are using that to see if any element is more than 3 times here. In this case there is. So first we'll say like we'll insert the elements of our vector to our set. So it is this. So after inserting the elements, we need a way to see which elements are going. We need a way to calculate or count the elements, right? So first we are taking the input and inserting the elements into the set. Now we must use it like a sort of, we can do another thing actually. So we can create another vector, we'll call it answer, and we'll like insert the element, and then we're gonna say like it's kind of confusing. So we are gonna let me think a bit. Okay, I am smiling. So so what was I doing? Okay, so we are gonna calculate like is.count. We are gonna count the elements and we're gonna push it back into our answer vector. The time complexity may be a bit much, but we can work on that later. First we need an actual solution for this one. So then we're gonna rip through, like we're gonna go through the so we are gonna go through the answer vector and we are gonna see if any value is equal to or more than 3. If it is, then we will just pause it right there and print out yes, or else we're gonna be printing out -1. Okay. Oh no, there's a problem actually. So we must print which value is more than, or the highest value actually, which one should we do? So for each test, print any value that appears at least 3 times. Also, we have to print out the value. Okay, so it's gonna be a bit different. Then we can't use this actually. So we need some sort of way to count the elements inside of the set, and we have to find at least one, right? We have to find any value. So it's pretty easy. Or we can just go through a shortcut. So we're gonna first we're gonna sort the vector we already have. So we'll have a sorted vector. So we'll have something like this, and we're gonna sort it, and then we're gonna count from the beginning. And if any elements from here is more than 3, we're gonna stop the loop, and we are gonna print out the value that we have landed on. So it's gonna be pretty simple, and we will have a time complexity of big O of n. So we are gonna go through the loop, and we're gonna say if the current element is not equals to the next element, then we are gonna, that means that if the current element is not equal to the next element, that means the elements are different actually. So then we'll first make a variable name answer to 0. Then we're gonna check if okay, so we're gonna set answer to 0, else, and if answer is if answer is greater than or equal to 3. So if it is 3, then we're gonna print out, then we're gonna print the element we have landed on, or else it's just gonna be, we are gonna increase the answer, and we will return. So the function returns, so return. So we are gonna return the function, and we are gonna print -1 with an end line. That means if there is no answer here, we are gonna print out -1. So let's actually use only one input, because I don't want to confuse my inputs, and see this one actually, or and it is not working. Okay, so in this case, it sorts first, then we must go through each of the elements. So we go through the elements, and if the elements are not equal to each other, the answer would be 0. And if actually, we can also keep this out of here, right? Like this. So because we want the checking process to happen every time the loops. So, and we don't want the answer to increase every time too. So only if the elements are equal to each other. So so if the answer is equal to or greater than 3, let's do the opposite actually. If it is equal to each other, then we are going to increase the answer, and else we're gonna do nothing else. We're gonna set the answer to 0. So we are resetting the answer. That means the next element isn't the same element, so we have to restart the answer, right? Now if we try this again, yep, we are seeing 2, so it might work. And in one case or another it does not work. So this actually might be a problem that so it was a loop problem. Now we can try this again, and still we have the same problem. So actually I get it now, because the answer should be 1, not 0, because there will always be a single element in the array. There won't be 0 elements, so there will always be an element in the array, so it will be 1. We are getting 2 answers correct and 1 answer wrong, and I want to know why. Yes, I should read my comments out loud. Yes, I think I should. So in this case, we are sorting and we are going through. So okay, let me go through the problem statement. So we're getting in the vector, then we are going through the vector, and if the elements are the same, then we are increasing it by 1. And I have no idea why it's not working, because let's debug it actually. So let's use this as a debugger. Go through those comment sections, naughty core. So I am getting allegations right now, and so every time the elements are the same, it will print W. So it's gonna take it. Okay, we can do that actually. I have to just change the color scheme to something pink. And I don't know which one is actually pink. This one is sort of pinkish. Let's keep this one. So what was I doing? So every time the elements are the same, it is gonna print out W. And so we're gonna use this one, and we're gonna compile the program, and we're gonna say 1 first, then we're gonna see, and yes, it's giving us W 2 times. That means it should work. Oh, so I get it. The loop is not running another time, so we have to do it at the end of the loop, not at the beginning of the loop, because we are calculating first. Okay. So if we do it now, So we have getting -1, 2, 2, 4, 1, then -1, then 4. So this one is also a problem. And yep, it's fine because any one of this is the answer, so the answer doesn't have to be the same. And yep, it's working. And we are going for a submission. So it's here. Then we're gonna go to dev prob and new.cpp. And let's submit it. And yes, it is accepted. We are gonna ignore some of the comments and we're gonna go to the next problem. And I'm gonna give an explanation first. So what we are doing is, first we take the array as an input, then we sort the array. So we have a sorted array and we count how many numbers are each time, how many numbers come each time. So in this case we have 2 2s and 2 2s here, so there are 4 2s in total, and we see if the count is actually more than 3, more than or equal to 3. If it is, we stop the loop right there. We print out the element we are on. So when we do that, we get our answer, and if none of the elements count is greater or equal to 3, then we just print out -1. So that was all the problem. That was the solution. Okay. So this one looks interesting. It has number theory here. So let's call a positive integer n ordinary if in the decimal notation all the digits are the same. For example, 1, 2 and 9, 9 are numbers, ordinary numbers, but 7, 1, 9 and 20, 21 are not ordinary numbers. So if in the decimal notation all digits are the same, so what is decimal notation actually? So the representation of a number in the form of a fraction with base as 10 along with a decimal point. Oh, so this is an interesting problem. It's very cold indeed. You should wear your sweater and use a katha, not katha, just a katha. So we're gonna ignore some of the comments for now, and we are gonna go right into the solution. So note that every ordinary number can be represented as d into an finite series. So therefore, to count all the ordinary numbers among numbers 1 to n, it is enough to count the number of d and k pairs such that d is less than n. In the given constraint, it is enough to iterate over d from 1 to 9 and k from 0 to 8. Okay, so it's an O of n squared solution. Okay, so this is a problem that I'm not going to solve now because I'm not in the freshest mind. So can I square? Okay, so Kalin has n buckets, the ith of which contains a of I wooden squares of side length 1. Can Kalin build a square using all the given squares? So the ith of which contains a of I wooden squares of side length 1. So in the first case, Kalin can build a 3 times 3 square. In the second case, Colin can build a 4 times 4 square. Yes, and the fourth, so we're gonna actually multiply, or we are gonna actually see 7 plus 9 plus 11, 36. Oh, so we have to take in the integers as an input. We are gonna have the sum of them. If the sum of them is a square number, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a sum variable, and we are gonna say sum is equal to 0, and we're gonna go through. No, there's সবাই ঘুমাইছে ভাই, সবাই ঘুমাইছে. So we're gonna get into Mr. Beast cult. You'll become a gigantic gugak. Okay, very understandable. Thank you for your comment. So we are gonna increase it by x every time. And if the sum is a square number, so we need a way to check if the integer is a square number. Check if an integer is a square number. So okay, that's actually pretty good. So we're gonna say sum is equal to sum to the power 0.5. I fear I might PG friendly your moderator pretty bad. Okay, so we need the square root function. What was the function? Square root, right? Square root. Yep, the function is square root. Sum is equal to the square root of sum if type of sum. Okay, actually I have to see it. How to check the type of how to check the type of a variable in C++. So we are going to use the type of how to differentiate I can see your search history, bro. I don't have any problem. My search history is really clean. So how to differentiate floats and integers in C++ without so we are gonna go to ChatGPT. How to check if variable is a float or an integer in C++. No, it's that easy. So if type id of sum is equal to type id of float, then we are gonna see out, we're gonna print yes, oh no, and then line, or else we are gonna print yes with an inline, and we are getting yes in every one of them. Let's actually check the sum and comment out all of these. And we are not getting, oh, it's understandable because it's an integer, it won't get float, and an integer won't have decimal points. It's that simple. And yep, it's working. So it's gonna be may Allah fulfill your wishes. So if the answer is a float, then we are gonna remove the print statement, and we are getting no every time. Because okay, it's understandable. We need to use auto, I guess. And now we're getting yes every time. May Allah give you your purple teddy. So it's very confusing. So if you need to handle multiple numeric types like double or long, you can extend the checks by comparing type ID to those types as well. So we need a way to actually check. We are using auto, it shouldn't happen like that. I don't know who's watching my stream. Okay, so we can use to compare against the type of the variable and returns the type info. So okay bro, okay, so it's pretty confusing. I'm gonna keep this problem here. We need a way to check if it is a square number or not. Square number or not in C++. I'm bad at coding. So we have the constraints here, like if the number is always greater than 1, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're gonna integer num cin num, we're gonna No, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm actually confused who is watching my stream. It is really confusing. So we need a way to think about this problem in another way. We need to check if there is another way. So we can say integer temp is equal to the square root of num, and we're gonna say if temp times temp not equals to num, because it won't give us anyway, it won't give us the float. And I have a single viewer again. So if it is not equal, then we're gonna print out no, else we are gonna print out yes. I am not letting my intrusive thoughts win, and I'm not gonna moan on my stream. So let's see, we're getting 2 yeses and 3 no's. That shouldn't be the answer. And there's 2 yeses, but this one 36 and 36, the square root of 36 should be 36. The square root of 36 should be 36, well, or just 6, and I don't know why it isn't working. I lost my viewer. Anyways, I have one loyal viewer, and I don't know why it's not working, because it should work. Or I'm gonna use auto. No, I'm not gonna moan. And yes, we have finally solved this one. Okay, yep, it's working. Yes, yes, no, yes, no. So we are gonna submit our solution, and we have another good one. And somehow what's the wrong answer on this one? Why didn't just what? Hey yo, what the oh, that's actually my bad. We have to take the sum first. I'm going to sleep at 2 or 2:30. So we're gonna num plus equals x, and we're gonna say we're gonna take the input, and yep, and it's working now. And we are gonna go and choose the file. I'm pretty sleepy myself, but I have to solve problems because I want to get into IOI, this one, and we have a wrong answer on test 2. Okay, so we have on the third token, and let's see why, or let's just go to the solution because I'm tired and my mic just fell off. And why is it on Russian? So you should add up all the values to the sum s. Then we just need to check if it is a perfect square. There are many ways. You can use the inverse square root function or the binary research because with prisoners in square root might return a floating point type. So is a square if okay, this is really interesting. So what they've done is, okay, this one's really interesting. That's a really interesting solution. So they have taken an infinite number and they've get the square root of the and they have checked if it is, if it, okay, so we need another look. Else if temp times temp is greater than x, or let's check another solution, because I don't like this solution because I don't understand it. So if it is, then square root summarize perfect series. I have done the same thing and mine does not work. I have no idea why. I've just done the same thing. They've taken a long if it is the square root of n, and if the multiplication of the, no, if the square of the answer is equal to n, then we return true, else we return false. I have done the exact thing. Actually, let me just do this. We can use a long, that's actually interesting. Why we can use a long. No, I won't go to sleep now. So this should work. Square root of num, and I have no idea why it's not working, brother, because the square root of n, it should work, but why doesn't it work? It's quite confusing. I am gonna try again, I guess. Like, it was working in these. Actually, let's try the thingy again. Let's try their test cases. So the third one, so 1. Yep, it is working. Why wouldn't it be working? Expected no, found yes. Why it is giving me no? I don't know what happened. Use a heater if it is cold. And now we have a wrong answer on the third test case, and I have no idea why. And it's on the first token. Okay, that's interesting. And why? Actually, okay, it might be my fault, because yep, it's completely my fault, and it's understandable because it's a long. That's why they use long, because the integer is a long, and the number is another long. So this one would be a long, this one would be a long, but everything inside here should be a long. So now it should, oh my god, I've spent so much time on this goddamn problem, and now it should work. I used, yep, it is accepted. That took longer than expected. We're gonna solve this one, then another problem, then we'll go to sleep probably. So a square of a positive area is located on the coordinate plane with sides parallel to the coordinate axis. You are given the coordinates of its corners in random order. Your task is to find the area of the square. Okay, so a square of positive area is located on the coordinate plane with sides parallel to coordinate axis. No. Given the coordinates of its corners in random order, you have to find the area of the square. Yes, I will go to sleep in a bit. Your task is to find the area of the square. And how am I supposed to? I have given. It is guaranteed that there is a square with sides parallel to the coordinate axis. So let's just go to the tutorial because I do not understand. So there are many ways to solve this, but the simplest one is as well. Let's find the minimum and maximum coordinate x among all the corners of the squares. The difference of this coordinate will give us the length of the square side. Yes. After that, we can calculate the area. Yes, we can. So okay, I don't know. We are taking the North Korean government is searching for you. Okay. I don't have a webcam on me, and my room is pretty messed up right now. Upload Pushpa 2 link. So I am going to use an Indian accent for the next problem. Just because you said for a Pushpa 2 link. No, I'm not gonna use an Indian accent because I'm really bad at it. Then sum of round numbers. No. Holy shit, that's big. I'm gonna get banned if I show you the website that I steal movies from. I'm not gonna say that word. Favorite sequence. Oh, this one's interesting. But not now. It's a big problem. I need an easier one. So Phonics says n coins with that he knows that n is even. He wants to split the coins into two piles such that each pile has exactly enough to half of the coins, and the difference of the weights between the two piles is minimized. So formally, let A denote the sum of weights in the first pile and B denote the sum of weights in the second pile. Help Phonics minimize the absolute value of A minus B. Okay, so we are given the value of n. No. Okay, so we have to minimize the difference of the values. So from what I'm seeing, it's gonna be pretty simple actually. We're gonna take an integer and we're gonna be n minus 1 into 2 with an n line. This should be the answer. I never yawned. So it's 2 and 6. Yep, it should be the answer. I'm not a little guy and I'm not tired. Okay, I am tired, but I'm not a little guy. So we have okay, so let's just think about. So let's see, we are given n, and we are a finite series of 2 of 1, 2 of 2, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power of 3, and it goes on till 2 to the power of n. So the difference of 2 to the power n minus 2 to the power n minus 1 will always be 2. It's the same as 2 to the power of 14, and the 2 to the power of 13 would be equal to 2. So we just have to calculate how many there will be, right? So I was wrong. We have to use something like, we have to divide it into 2, right? Or we have to find the sum of all the values and see. Okay, I will repeat. So every value here in this series, the difference between adjacent elements will be 2. So the difference between this and this will be 2. The difference between this and this will be 2. We can see that in action. So it's repeat the, yep, I will, but let me check some things first. Okay, so I was wrong and I'm completely lost here. So it is really weird and I don't know. We have to minimize the difference, right? So the biggest of the elements should be oh no, yes, I'm right. So the biggest weight should be chosen first because we need their absolute value. It's been minimize the absolute value. I am really drunk. I am actually high. He wants to split the coins into 2 piles such that each pile has half of the coins and the difference of weights between the 2 piles is minimized. Oh, so that's what we're supposed to do. So let's take 4 for an example. So we are given 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4. So we have to divide it in 2 parts. In this case, we have to divide it in 2 parts such that the difference of the sum of the piles and the difference of the sum of the piles is minimized. Like, let's see, these 2 and these 2. So we can do something like 2 times 2 times 2 plus 2 times 2 times 2 plus 2 times 2. So it's going to be 24. So in this case it's 24, and this is simple arithmetic. This is 8, and we find here, so the difference here is 8 minus 24, the absolute value, and in this case it is 16, which is not the value we want. So if we just do something like 2 to the power of 2 and 2 cube, and 2 to the power of 1 and 2 to the power of 4, then we might have our answer. So we can say something like 4 plus 2 to the time 12. So it's 12, and we have 16 here. So the difference of this is 4. Yep. Or I'm wrong. 16. Yes, I'm right. 2 squared plus 2 cubed. And no, I'm not right. I have no idea. So we observe that the coin with the token is greater than the sum of all other weights combined. This is true because therefore the pile that has the heaviest coin will always weigh more. To minimize the weight difference, so we put the lightest coin into the pile with the heaviest coin. So the answer will be this. So we put the largest coin in the first pile. Okay. And we put the smallest coins in the first pile. And we put the remaining out of 2 coins in the second pile. Okay. This is a valid answer. So we're gonna first put the larger coins. Good night. And then we're gonna loop through this actually. The second half, we're gonna loop through the second half. Then we're gonna do is we're gonna put the smaller coin in. Okay, so we're gonna put the smaller coin in. I'll also go to sleep after solving this problem. So we need the absolute difference between these two with an underline. And somehow I still made a mistake. And I have no idea where. So we first check the sum, we put the largest coin in, we set the sum, second sum to 0, then we put this, we set this to 1, then we are gonna go from n divided by 2. And we're gonna increase sum to by, put the remaining coins into the second pile, and okay, that was a big fail. I am bad at maths, it seems. So So I'll probably close the stream for today because it's been super late. So thanks to everyone for sticking with me, and I hope I'll improve my streams a lot. So thank you.